Hey, what up, Greatness Gang, man? Shout out to somebody in the comment section. They've had a great question for me. They asked me to compare Azzure Aoud from French Avenue to Sabbia from Anfar. We about to tap into it, bro. These are actually extremely close fragrances. About to let y'all know the difference. Yer! What up, Greatness Gang?
I am back. What it do, baby?
Alright, today we're going to be comparing two Oud Maracuja. Don't know how to pronounce it, but we're going to be cloning two Oud Maracuja fragrances. And I'm going to be letting y'all know the differences between the two. Now, for a disclaimer, I haven't smelled the OG. I haven't gotten my nose on it just yet. So I can't really tell you the exact differences, but I can tell you the differences between these two. Let's start off. So first things first, I gotta say, it's not too much of a difference between both of these fragrances. The fragrance difference is going to be coming from the opening as well as the mid, but the dry down is very identical. So starting off, we're gonna start off with Sabbia. Now this one opens up with a little bit of a fruity mix. It does have a beautiful saffron spice to it. It does have a little bit of like an earthy mix going along with it, while showcasing a nice creamy vanilla with the opening. So this fragrance does have a lot going on with it. You got a little bit of spice from the earthiness. You have a lot of woods also. The passion fruit is in there, but it's not as strong. This one comes off much more of a dialed down passion fruit, whereas when we talk about the Azzure Aoud, that's where you're mainly going to notice the difference between the two. The rose does add a good touch, and it kind of balances in with that earthy feel. So right now off rip, I'm telling you, the Sabbia one is going to have a little bit more of an earthiness to the fragrance as it's making its way through. And now switching over to the opening of Azzure Aoud, this one right here has a lot more fruity sweetness to it. A lot more of that passion fruit, and that passion fruit is extremely thick, extremely rich in this one. The saffron that you get is dialed down, and so is that woody sense. So whereas with Sabbia, it was coming off a lot more earthy, Azzure Aoud comes off with a lot more of a fruity sweetness going along with it. Still doesn't have that creamy vanilla, but it does maintain a slight woody, spicy complexion. I would say that Sabbia is going to be the more masculine leaning of the two, thanks to that earthy profile, whereas Azzure Aoud is going to be the fragrance that I know for a fact that my ladies would be able to enjoy, and it's mainly because of that passion fruit. Now personally, I'm going to let you know right now, that passion fruit matters in the opening. It's either you're going to want a passion fruit that comes off a little bit more flat with woods, and that's where the Sabbia is going to be the shining star of the two. Or if you want one of those more fruity openings, dial down the woods a little bit, not as much of that saffron spice, a lot of that passion fruit, somewhat tart in a way, then you're going to want to go with the Azzure Aoud. Now in the mid, that's when Sabbia really starts to catch up with the Azzure Aoud. The passion fruit amps up a little bit on this one. It doesn't have that tartness, but it does amplify the sweetness a little bit. Now that could be boosted up with the sandalwood, because it does have like this creamy, woody vanilla sense about it also. So that could be ampling up that sweetness that you do get in Sabbia. Whereas in the mid of Azzure Aoud, you have a lot more of those floral notes that starts to come out. The passion fruit dialed down a little bit, but the passion fruit in Azzure Aoud is still going to be much more than what you get in Sabbia. But the floral accords in Azzure Aoud really do amplify once you start to hit that mid. It becomes very close at this point. And then once you hit the dry down, it's going to be completely the same. Leather, woods, still have a little bit of that fruity sweetness, but it's mostly going to be like a creamy, woody mix as the dry down hits on both of these fragrances. Honestly, my takeaway from both of these fragrances is going to be this right here. Both of these are comparable in price. Sabbia was around 30 bucks. I think Azzure Aoud was around 40. So price wise, you're not really paying too much of a major difference. Presentation wise, both of these fragrances have amazing presentations, amazing packaging. You're not throwing away neither one of these. So you kind of take off the mark there. And then the quality of both of these fragrances are on par as well. You're not going to have to wait for any type of maceration process, none of that. Fresh out the box, you'll be able to enjoy both of these on skin, no hesitation, and you'll be able to enjoy yourself. So with all that being said, really the only difference is going to be the juice. And like I said before, the juice in Sabbia is extremely nice, but to me that one gives you much more masculine touch. It doesn't have that same fruity sweetness. It's a lot more earthy, a lot more woods, a lot more saffron. Whereas the Azzure Aoud is a lot more passion fruit. It's a lot more fruity notes. It has a nice touch of rose floral accords in there, but they're not earthy. They're much more clean, and that wood, oud, leather sense that you get in the dry down in the Azzure Aoud is extremely clean. So for me, I'm gonna say it depends on if you want something that leans a little bit more unisex, or if you just want a fragrance that leans it completely masculine. If you want the masculine version, I would go with Sabbia. If you want the unisex version, go with Azzure Aoud. And my last takeaway from this fragrance, from both of these fragrances, is gonna be this right here. This really does smell like a ombre nomad type of DNA, just with passion fruit. Me, I'm not the biggest fan of ombre nomad because I don't like the emphasis on the rose or the floral accords that it has in it. But these two right here are right up my alleyway for that DNA of a fragrance. I love the passion fruit in this. I love that sweet, fruity opening that the fragrance gives off, the creaminess, the floral touch, the woody masculine dry down. I enjoy both of this whole DNA a lot more than I do the ombre nomad DNA. So just throwing that out there because I know that's another comparison that some people like to talk about, but for me, I love this DNA. This DNA just works. So yeah, both of these are a hit. If I had to choose one, I'm choosing Sabbia just because I like the masculine leaning profile, but I am happy that I do have both of them. Trust me, it could literally be a coin toss. But let me know y'all thoughts, man. I hope this video answered any questions that you had about these two fragrances and which one you should really choose out of the two. Like I said, it's all up to you whether you want something masculine or leaning a little bit more unisex. But let me know down in the comment section. I'm eager to know y'all thoughts and I'm ready to have this conversation. With all that being said, we got to get up out of here, man. Hope y'all have a great day. Hope y'all have a phenomenal day. Stay on that square, stay on your purpose, and don't let nobody take you off of it, fam. D4G truly blessed, destined for greatness. We out.